So tonight, we are going to be making this little Easter Bunny piñata out of wafer paper. You can also, I have one here that I started making, and this is kind of just the box that starts it. And this one is made out of smart sheets. So you can use either for this project. Wafer paper sticks a little bit better, kind of faster for me. And I didn't have any glue when I was making this one, so I was just using water. But we'll use the little honey glues tonight, and that definitely would have worked better with the smart sheets as well. So you can fill him. There's a little hole on the side here, or you can cut a little slit in back and fill it with jelly beans. We have some Skittles for tonight, so we will get started with that. I printed out a template, and this is on my Facebook page. If anybody wants to use this one, you can go on there and download it, but really it's just strips of wafer paper. For the body itself, I went ahead and sprayed 2 pieces of wafer paper together to make kind of a double sheet and let them dry, put a book on them and let them dry to get this a little thicker on the shell. But if you're using smart sheets, you don't need to do that. It's already the right density. And then I just printed on it. So we are literally just cutting strips. If you can see on this one here, I've printed so that there's a dotted line and then the regular line. And so we're just going to cut down on this line here. You can let me know if you need me to adjust it to keep it in view. We're going to start on that one like that. And so then we have our two dotted lines on the side, and those are just to kind of tell us where to stop cutting. If you have a pair of these craft scissors that have like the multiple tips on them, these work great because we are going to cut and we're just going to go right up to that dotted line. I already did it on this side here, as you can see. This is just going to help us bend and create a contact point inside for our round circles to go. We're just going to trim all the way up to that dotted line, all the way down the entire thing. And this makes it so much quicker because you can do it with scissors. You could actually put this on a Cricut and have your Cricut do it. But if you have these little guys, it works really quickly. So we have that on both sides trimmed down like that. That is what we are going to use to make our base that kind of goes around this. I am going to spray it with a little paper potion just to get it a little bit softer here. Just a light spray.
What is paper potion? We got some new.
Oh, okay. So this is paper potion. It is a conditioner for the wafer paper. I don't know if you heard it just a second ago, but before I sprayed it and I went to bend it around that thing, I just cracked it right there. Paper potion will make it so that it won't crack. I'll be able to bend this. It's already starting, you can see now, without cracking. But it doesn't completely absorb into the paper like water would and give you a wet, sloppy mess. So it can really, it's just paper conditioner. So for this guy, I also printed out the 2 circles, so you can use your scissors to cut out. These are 2.5-inch scissors, or you can use a craft punch like I'm going to do, and we're just going to punch out these 2 circles, just like that. And then I'm going to trim off the bottom of it so that this guy sits flat like that versus round, but you can leave it on if you want a completely round shape. And we're just going to trim off the very bottom edge just so that you'll have 2 round circles that can sit flush to the ground. For the very bottom part, we're just going to measure the same as we just cut off on our circle here, and we're just going to cut off a little piece that's the same length as the bottom of our paper. I'm going to just spray a little bit of paper potion on Deb's table here and use my paintbrush because I just want to get these edges just a little wetter than I want to get the centerpiece so that they'll start bending, but I don't want the bottom to be soaked or start bending as well. So once I put that on there, you can see it's all ready. These start pushing up without breaking off. And that's what I want to do on both sides. And then once I have those like that, I'm going to measure kind of how this would go around my circle as well. And I think we're going to make it without having to worry about that crack that we did before we sprayed the paper potion on. So we're just kind of measuring that so that we know where to cut on here. And we're just going to trim off that extra. I'm just going to give that one more spray just to let that kind of soak up the paper potion there. So while that's doing that, I am going to take a little bit of edible glue from Little Hunnies, and I'm just going to put it on the edges of this right here, just a little bit. You can put it on. This is nice because it has the little tip. You can also just use your paintbrush and put it around there. And then we're going to take the edge that we trimmed off there, and we're just going to glue that onto it. I like to take the back side of my paintbrush and really just push those two together like that. Put a little bit of pressure, and they really, wafer paper just kind of sticks to itself really nicely, so you don't have to do a whole lot with that. And then on this side, we're going to do the same thing. And if I am going too fast, you guys can tell me to slow down at any point, because I tend to do that sometimes. Just going to put a little bit there, the same, and do the same thing on this side. We'll just attach it to the other circle. And the glue works so much better than the water. I was out last night. I actually had some, but I lost it somewhere between here and Canada. And so now you'll have this little Star Trek looking spaceship guy. And what we're going to do is this part here that we have cut, we're going to just start bending in the side pieces, just like we did with the other one. And if it seems like it needs a little bit more moisture to keep from cracking, we'll just add a little bit of the paper potion. This stuff is awesome to condition your wafer paper. And it dries really nice too. So even if you do something like have a tear, you can kind of seam it back together and it'll dry and repair. So we're just going to put all, you see how nicely it makes these little edges bend over 90 degrees without tearing, just by adding that. But still nice and thick that you're not tearing your wafer paper.
You love wafer paper, don't you?
I do.
And you also love flex frosting.
I love the flex frost. Flex frost is fun. Yeah, the Smart Sheets is nice too. Like I hadn't really played with the Smart Sheets a ton until I think you're always trying to get me to mess with them, and it was more in Canada that I really started using those a lot, and they just print so beautiful. The colors are amazing on those. So I made this one is out of Smart Sheets, and the little pinata strips are on Smart Sheets too, so you definitely can do it on either one. And this is a nice solid base, so you could always make your bases out of it and then do the like pinata stripes out of wafer paper too. So now that we have this bent like that, we're going to start with one edge and just come back with our glue just like we did for the bottom piece. Put a little on there and then just kind of spread it out with my paintbrush. And then we're just going to put it on the inside of this here. And this just takes a little more finagling to get that on, but you want to get one side on really good, because obviously it's harder to get the other side on because you can't see it as well. And again, I'll just take my paintbrush, and it's hard to see, but just to seal down that inside lip. And then once I have that on, I'm going to do it to bring this part up like that. So we're just going to take the glue again and put it along our little edges here. I think you just get used to working with one product so much, it's hard to always switch to other stuff.
Yeah. The smart sheets are a little bit more sturdy. They handle
Yes.
water better. And the wafer's thinner, so they do work a little differently.
So I'm going to put a few Skittles in here now before I seal this up, but you definitely could do it later as well. You could do jelly beans or whatever you have for this. So we're going to put some in there. You could fill it with whatever kind of candy you wanted. And then we're just going to close this part up and make sure all those little tabs are down. And we are going to cover this with the kind of piñata stripe so it doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. And then just try to get that to seal there on that. So then you have a cute little base just like that. Oh, losing one through, yeah, through. Need a little more glue on this side. And then, yeah, got the little set like that. And once it dries, I'm actually going to take these out just so they don't keep falling. Well, I'll leave some of those in. They may keep falling out, but I would let this dry before you move on to the next step. But for time, we're just going to keep going with this. If you print out the paper, there are some other strips on this sheet as well, but it's really just pretty much 1/2 inch strips, and then I cut them just half up of this so you can kind of see. If I bend one here, use the same cutter for these here. And so we are just going to start running these across our, I'm going to shake those out. We're going to start running these across our base, just like little piñata strips. And I will give this just a really, this is the single ply, and so I don't want to spray it a lot, but just a little mist of the paper potion, just because I do want to ruffle these up just a little bit so they kind of have some texture when they're on the little piñata, just like a regular piñata would. And then I'm just going to run a little strip of glue where the edge of this is going to go, and just along the side, well, because I'm going to wrap it around the side. So we're going to start over on this side and just wrap it right around. And it sticks wonderfully to the glue. And then right at the back edge, we're just going to trim it. And you could come all the way around to the back if you wanted to cover all sides of it. And then just kind of ruffle this a little bit just so that you can see, pull a couple of them up like that. And then we're just going to come up above it. So here's our other line. We're going to go just right above that one. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask Deb. She can holler them over to me from her side of the room. And that one fit nice on there, and just ruffle up these edges. It's easier to do before you stick it on. And that's what we're going to keep doing all the way around with just a couple different strips.
So you could probably make any shape you wanted. Like you could do this for Valentine's Day as well.
You could definitely do it with any shape you wanted. And I wanted to, I don't know if you remember, I don't know, a year or two ago, I did a Easter basket that was a balloon inside of it. And so I wanted to get some small little balloons and just make them egg shape. And what we did was use the paper potion to wet the wafer paper and blew up a balloon. It was a big balloon because it was a whole like ball, and wrapped it. And then when the wafer paper dried, it was like paper mache. We popped the balloon and had a ball, and then cut the top out because we actually made an edible Easter basket and a lantern. I think we did a lantern. I think we did a Halloween lantern with it and an Easter one.
Yep. And you can find those. They're actually on the Icing Images YouTube page.
Oh.
You can go in and just type in Jennifer's name, and it'll come up under our page.
Well, there you go.
I've seen it recently, that's why.
Okay, so yeah, you can. I love being able to put it on a balloon and do it like paper mache and pop it and have the shape. So again, I'm just kind of ruffling these so that they kind of stand out and they don't lay so flat on him, just to give it some texture. A nice thing about wafer paper, like that little piece broke off because I forgot to spray this, and it isn't going to make any difference. I can just put it right back on even with that. Get another one. I'm going to spray this one.
For you, isn't it?
Yeah.
So what does everybody else think they could do with this idea? What other things can you make? Like even something like a wedding favor.
Oh, yeah.
And put those little Jordan almonds in there.
Yeah, you could. So just taking that back around the side, and if you want to enclose the back, you could just take this all the way around to the back as well. But we're just going to trim it, and we're getting up to the top. So we're going to do another row or two right there, but then we're going to leave space to put on the ears. So let's do kind of one more that goes around.
Hey Sydney, can people still get any tickets for the retreat? Because you definitely want to come. So let us know.
I'm going to give this one a little spray with the paper potion just to get a little more movement with it, because it is going to go up on top here. And the bend gets a little more. And wafer paper is just very forgiving. At least with paper potion. And I'm going to do just a little tiny piece and kind of bend it like a little bit more of a U shape by using the paper potion on this one. Just let that, and it only takes a minute to condition the paper and start working. You don't even have to sit there and wait forever for it, which is the nice thing. And we're going to add just another little line of glue up here.
For those of you who are coming to the retreat, that Tuesday night of the retreat, I believe it's Tuesday, I'll get corrected. We are doing a special blue evening. Oh, it's so cute. A special blue evening for owners, but we're going to allow other people to come as well. Jen is going to be talking about her new product that she's going to show tonight as well. So you'll get to see it like really firsthand there. And as she talks about this, there's going to be a part of it also for blue owners too. So that's going to be Tuesday night. I think it's at 7, and we're providing pizza, and it's going to be just a lot of fun to hang out with some owners and people who just want to check it out and hang out with us, because we're pretty darn cool people.
So I forgot to put his ears on the sheet. So what I just did was like freehand cut a couple little ears like that. I did 4 just to, I think when I did him, I was actually using the single ply versus this one. So we'll probably just use 2 on this guy. And then if you have the pink wafer paper, you guys still have the pink?
No?
This is really, this is, I should have asked. It's still, do you have the green still?
We don't do any
No
colors.
colors. Okay. So, well, you can just print them out. Like I did the little nose and the mouth, and the leaves, even though I had the green. But when I was, yeah, I've had this a while. So not their pink brand. We're just going to cut out 2 little kind of ear shapes out of the pink to go in the center.
Yeah, we like to keep our products fresh, and we have to order, a lot at a time.
Yeah.
So I just, the pink was probably the most popular, and then the green, but it just, we couldn't order it in smaller quantities, and because people can print or they can paint or dust or airbrush, people loved it, but not enough people, and I don't want to sell the product, even though people keep them forever and use them like you. You're not the only one.
So with his ears, I'm just going to trim around the edges, just like we did on the, just to give him some of that texture around his ears there. And do on the other one as well. Yeah, I meant to ask you if you guys even still carried that. I was like, I've had this forever.
Yes, you have.
I have like scrapbook, like, the scrapbook paper, those bins that with just full of all different papers and.
I'm not the only one though. I see it appear and I'm like, oh my gosh. But see, that's the thing about edible paper is nothing really goes bad, like it's bad where it's going to make you sick. It just kind of changes a little bit, and the oils are what actually make it smell a bit when it's older. I don't know if yours smells, not always, but it doesn't really go bad. So
we're just gluing that little pink part right into the center of his ear. And then we're just going to take those little cuts we made and kind of just try to fluff it, kind of bring it in on top of that little pink part a little bit.
Sharita reminded us too when Liz Artie Magoo, she did a hat with the same idea of putting it together.
Oh, okay.
It's cute. Kelly said she just tossed out some Wilton sheets. Oh my God, those are really old. And those, they are very old. So the reason why the Wilton sheets didn't work was because they didn't package them properly. And yes, they asked me about it, and yes, I told them what to do, and no, they did not listen.
Oh.
So they didn't do well on the shelves for long. They would crack and everything. But you can lead a horse to water.
On the second white one, I just sprayed it with a little bit of wafer paper, and I'm just going to go ahead and add the white and the pink one to it so that it's kind of a flat backing while we kind of fluff the ear on that inner white one. And then I'm just going to put a little bit more paper potion on the back where I want these to bend so that they don't crack in a minute when we bend them and put them on the bunny. I'm just going to let this paper potion sit there for just a minute and kind of soak in so that we don't crack that. And we can go ahead and cut out his nose over here and his eyes. There's 2 different noses and 3 different color eyes, 3 different. Oh, what was that? Oh.
I want to make sure I'm seeing all the comments because sometimes I don't see them all.
So we'll pick these eyes here. And if you had a Cricut, you could definitely cut this out on a Cricut as well. And we're just going to cut just as close as we can, but without cracking our paper.
Don says he loves the bunny, but also thinking of how cool the floral tattoo on your arm could be on a cake design.
Well, thank you. Which one? I got a new little dinosaur over here.
Dinosaur. Did I see that one?
I think probably. He's
It's
been there.
pretty cool to see her arm in person because there's so much going on it. You can just like entertain yourself. Oh, over there. Oh, he's cute. Why'd you get him? Just because you like him?
Well, yes, the dinosaurs, but he's for my granddaughter.
Okay, gotcha. I hope your granddaughter's gonna like dinosaurs.
I like dinosaurs, so I'm a huge Jurassic Park fan, so
Gotcha.
there's a few more dinosaurs coming.
He says your right arm.
Oh, okay, so these ones, yes. That's probably my favorite arm. I'm just trying to, if I had a little tiny delicate pair of scissors, but I did not bring them to cut this out, but it's okay. We'll make this work.
I had some in here at one point. Tiny little ones. Except I don't see them.
It's okay. And the same for his or her eyelashes. And I just, these shapes and stuff, if you want to get your own, I just searched Canva for unicorn eyelashes. And all these pretty different fluttery eyelashes came up.
Yeah, this would be perfect for a cricket.
Yeah.
Very cute. And yes, for all you blue owners who are on here, you can use the cricket with the blue. If you have any questions, just reach out to Sharita. She's gonna love me for that. Yeah, we're gonna have to do a lot of social media posts on our ride trip down to Florida with Sharita again, and Jen in the car with me, and of course the dog is going to be there too, Tater.
Now you should show him a picture of what you guys had me in last time.
Imagine a mini fridge, and inside it was Jen.
Yeah, pretty much.
They were supposed to swap seats, and they didn't. Jen was such a good sport, and I'm sure he was very happy about that.
So for the little leaves and flowers, again, I just put some little shapes from Canva on here. You can do your own, or you could grab the image off my Facebook and just cut out the leaves and the flowers. For this little pink one, I don't even know if you can see it, we just kind of did like a little rolled rose out of the non-existent pink paper.
That's okay. There's so many ways to color paper.
There is. And I think that's probably why I didn't even use it, because like usually if you're doing something, you only want a certain part of it dusted or colored, or which is probably why I still just have it.
He's coming together so cutely. I didn't realize he wasn't in the screen.
Oh no.
Half of them was.
And so I'm just cutting out one of the flowers really quickly to get this done.
I like the little stand you have them on. It's adorable.
Oh. So you see how now it sat with the wafer paper for a minute, I can bend all like 3 layers, which is like 1, 2, 3, 4, actually 5 layers thick of wafer paper without snapping it because of the paper potion. Right in half there. And so we're just going to come back in with the glue and put a little bit on each side to add his ears or her ears. Since we're going to put flowers on her head. And for the eye, the nose and the eyes, we'll just add again a little bit of the glue. These aren't as neatly as cut out as this one over here because I don't have my finer scissors, but the Cricut would work great for this, or just if you're doing like multiple of them and just be able to put them all on one sheet. And we're just going to put the little nose on there.
She's so adorable.
And same thing with the eyes. Let's see, which way did we have them going?
If you made the nose black, it would be Tater. So So if you guys are watching, she's almost done, but at the end, she's going to be showing the new program that's
Yeah.
available.
So I just stuck I don't know if you can see this, it's pretty teeny, but a little flower and leaf together. And then we'll just stick it to one of the ears, and you can just do little stuff like that to add some little flowers to them. So that's it.
It's adorable.
You can add little
fast.
Yeah. And if you had a Cricut and all your pieces, you could put them together super fast, and you could make like the bases like this even ahead of time. And if you're using smart sheets, we didn't even have to double up. This is just one single smart sheet. And you can hear that. You know what it reminds me of? Did you ever see Karate Kid when they spun that little drum thing and had the balls on the edge?
Yeah.
Every time I pick it up, that's what it reminds me of, the little Karate Kid drum. But yeah, you could make like a little rattle with that, or fill it with candy and stuff, with so many different things. So that is that.
We can put peanut M&Ms in it, my favorite.
Oh yes, most definitely.